Welcome to the Hidden Chapters. Every story hides a lesson that can change the way we think. Today's story is about honesty, trust, and a test that no one expected. Sometimes telling the truth feels like losing, but what if it becomes your greatest victory? Let's begin. Long ago, there was a wise king who had ruled his kingdom with justice for many years. As age slowly weakened him, one question kept him awake every night. Who would become the next king? He had 3 sons. Each prince was intelligent, brave, and loved by the people. Choosing one over the others seemed impossible. The king knew that strength, intelligence, and wealth alone could never make a great ruler. A true king needed something even more valuable. One morning, he gathered all 3 princes in the royal garden. Without saying much, he handed each of them a single seed. "My sons," the king said, "plant this seed in a pot. Care for it with all your heart. After 3 months, bring your plant back to me. Whoever grows the finest plant will become the next king." The princes happily accepted the challenge. The eldest prince hired the kingdom's best gardeners. The second prince bought the richest soil and rare fertilizers. But the youngest prince decided to care for the seed himself. Every morning he watered it carefully, placed it under the warm sunlight, and patiently waited. Days turned into weeks. The eldest prince soon saw green leaves appear. The second prince's pot was filled with a beautiful young plant. But the youngest prince stared at an empty pot. He changed the soil. He watered it less, then more. He tried everything he could think of. Still, nothing grew. Every day his confidence faded. He began wondering if he had failed his father. As the final day drew closer, the palace buzzed with excitement. But while everyone prepared to display beautiful plants, the youngest prince feared he had nothing to show except an empty pot. The day of judgment finally arrived. The palace courtyard was filled with nobles, soldiers, and citizens eager to see who would become the future king. The eldest prince proudly carried a pot filled with colorful flowers. The second prince presented a tall, healthy plant with shining green leaves. The crowd applauded loudly. Then everyone turned toward the youngest prince. He slowly walked forward, holding nothing but an empty pot. Whispers spread across the courtyard. Did he forget to plant the seed? What a disappointment. Some even laughed. The youngest prince lowered his head in embarrassment. His brothers smiled confidently, certain that victory belonged to one of them. The king silently walked toward each prince, carefully examining every plant. Finally, he stopped before the youngest son. "Where's your plant?" he asked. The young prince took a deep breath. "Father, I watered the seed every day. I changed the soil and cared for it with all my heart. But nothing ever grew. I did not want to deceive you, so I brought the pot exactly as it is." The entire courtyard became silent. Many believed those words had ended his chance of becoming king. The king looked into his son's eyes for a long moment. Then, something unexpected happened. A gentle smile appeared on the king's face. He ordered the royal guards to gather everyone closer. The crowd was confused. The 2 elder princes looked nervous. No one understood why the king looked happier with an empty pot than with 2 beautiful plants. The greatest secret of the kingdom was about to be revealed. The king raised his hand, and silence filled the courtyard. "My people," he began, "today you have witnessed something far greater than a gardening competition." He turned toward the 3 princes. "The seeds I gave each of you had been boiled before I handed them out." A wave of shock spread through the crowd. "They were dead seeds," the king continued. "No matter how much water, sunlight, or care they received, they could never grow." The 2 elder princes turned pale. The king looked at them with disappointment. "When your seeds failed to grow, both of you secretly replaced them with new seeds because you wanted to win." Neither prince could deny it. Then the king placed his hand on the youngest prince's shoulder. But this young man chose honesty over success. He could have easily cheated like everyone expected. He could have brought the most beautiful flower in the kingdom. Instead, he brought me the truth. The crowd erupted into applause. The king smiled proudly. A kingdom can recover from poverty. It can survive war, but can never survive a dishonest ruler. He removed the royal crown and gently placed it on the youngest prince's head. From that day forward, The young prince ruled with fairness, kindness, and honesty. His people trusted him because they knew one thing for certain. A man who refuses to lie, even when failure seems certain, will never betray his people. Moral of the story: honesty may not give you quick success, but it always earns lasting respect, trust, and true victory. Thank you for watching The Hidden Chapters. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes that honesty still matters. See you in the next Hidden Chapter.